What's up, cyberspace cadets? It's Irate Prostate here, and it's another Thursday, and that means it's time for Hot Takes. And this week, of course, is Hot Takes Anime Week, and that's when we take a movie or a series that's on Netflix, and we check it out. And this week, it's an anime series. It's the second film in the Godzilla quadrilogy that Netflix is putting out. It came out 2 weeks ago, and so in the studio with me, of course, is the lovely Viper Sword.
Hi.
And joining her is Atema the Hun.
Hello.
And of course, my number one partner in crime on this here show is Big Fat Brian. Say hey, brother.
Okay.
And just arriving, just in time, but never too late, your boy Pat. Hey, man.
Hello.
What's
Yay.
up?
I was running late. Like I said, I told you I was gonna be running tight, man. I got off for work and then my ride wanted to go each and every way and run errands, and I'm like, man, I gotta go do a live stream. Send me to the house.
Well, cool, man.
How's everybody doing?
You just made it. You're a second late.
Uh-oh. He's in trouble.
That's exactly what that timer was for, man. And that way, you know, nobody's late. It's a good thing, and we've been laid back, getting ready for the show. It's been quite a week since last week, and today we're going to be talking about quite an experience, if you want to call it that. It's technically the name of the anime is City on the Edge of Battle. And it's Godzilla, City on the Edge of Battle, and it's the second movie in the quadrilogy, like I said earlier. And what we're going to do, I guess, is we're just going to slide in and talk about this thing. Do y'all want to talk about like the narrative, or let's just talk about it? Just talk about it, because there's so much shit to say about this thing. I don't know where to start.
Can we have a plot, please?
Okay, I'll give you the plot.
Do you want it to be explained, or should somebody write a plot for it?
Okay, so it's Godzilla, and the plot is usually kind of weird and confusing. Yeah, you know, I get it. But this one, especially this movie, I was like, what in the holy hell is going on? What? How did you get to here? What are these people? Oh, wait a minute, they aren't Klingons? They're what? What the hell is going on?
So basically, the plot picks up right after the very first film. We see our main character Hiro. He's kind of waking up after being injured in the final battle with Big Mama, because I swear what they fought in the first movie was Baby. So Big Mama Godzilla.
Yeah, Baby Godzilla, and then like I said, the original Godzilla woke up and whooped all their ass, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially we're saying that the original movie was about Godzuki.
Yeah, basically. Basically. But then, so everybody's kind of having to regroup because they're all scattered all over the place, and then we meet up with what we can only assume are mutated human descendants. That's what I got out of it.
Who are
Somehow
also twins and telepathic.
That's why I'm getting confused. That I'm like, are these like human beings that like it just evolved along as time went by and all that right there? Like these were the ones who stayed on Earth, you know, who didn't fly off into space, and as you know, as time went by, they just adjusted with the environment as it changed. Or
that would make sense.
Just magically popped up.
That would make sense, and I think that part of the plot really suffers because of the actual plot of the film being Mechagodzilla. Or, sorry, I shouldn't say Mechagodzilla, but Mecha Factory.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's the question is, yeah, okay, they're telepathic and everything, but they can't invent a fucking toilet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like these, you know, it's like, what the fuck?
They have such high culture.
Right, and I get it. You know, this is like, this is like your classic, like 4-part what I can't remember what they're called. The comic books that come out in 4 parts. The second book is always the connective tissue to the whole thing, right?
Wait. What if in hindsight this portion of the movie was actually them saying doing commentary on our current state of affairs, where we have people with such high culture but no bathrooms.
Yeah, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
Well, it's just, you got to remember, anime takes everything and puts it into archetypes, right? Everything is an extreme.
Yeah.
So, they're high cultured, but I don't even know if it's high culture so much as they're supposed to be like one with the earth. We
don't think so.
children of the tweez kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't think so. Because they see, to put it into a comparison, Avatar, not The Last Airbender, but James Cameron's Avatar. Yeah, the blue people.
That Avatar.
Yeah, that Avatar. They were one with the trees and everything's connected.
I wouldn't be surprised if this anime actually got inspired by that, or at least like the Jetson meet the Flintstones, because that's what I got. I got a space age meet the Stone Age kind of thing with this right here. It's like Godzilla to knock these people back to the prehistoric days and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the twins are canon with the Godzilla, with the old school Godzilla stuff, and I'll bring that up later. Okay.
Yeah, except they're not related to Mothra in the canon.
Well, dude, they keep talking about the egg. That's the point.
The egg. I'm wondering what the hell the egg is.
Yeah, the egg is Mothra's babies. Right, and there's there are 2 caterpillars inside of the egg, and they grow into Mothra, right? In the original movie.
Well, that explains the insect connection.
Right, exactly. and then we can't figure out what the powder on the skin is. Is it fungus or is it insect? Or is it cocaine? I can't figure it out.
Yeah, and why does it matter? Why? Like, I don't understand this is a really common thing, at least in most of these animes I've watched, where they over-explain everything, but they don't actually explain anything. Mm-hmm. So they're like, they have this fungus on their skin that makes their tribal tattoos, and it's really interesting. And it's like, wait, okay, but what
the hell is it?
Why does this even matter to the plot line? What is going on? Well, why are you explaining this to me?
Well, what they say later though is that everybody that's been touched by that powder, that they're physically made ill by that by the bio metal, by the nanometal, right?
Yeah, by Mechagodzilla, essentially.
Right, and that's why Haru can't get infected by the shit like the chick does. Towards the end, when they're flying in the vultures, which are not birds of prey, by the way.
No, they are not. They are basically kick-ass robots, and I found the only mildly entertaining part of this film.
They were actually cool looking. I thought they were cool looking too. I would build a cool model out of that. I would love to build that model. Just saying.
Yeah. But I think so far this film lacked Godzilla. It lacked Godzilla.
Well, yeah, because he popped up right dead at the end. Well, kind of like I did in the first one, but it's like at least like they show in the first one they showed the actual little baby Godzilla a whole lot than they did this one right here. The only time Godzilla really popped up was when they found Mecha Godzilla City and they was ready to just take the fight back to him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the main bad guy of this film was definitely Mechagodzilla, and the aliens. I cannot remember what the species of aliens they are called.
Saludos.
Those people.
Those.
We are Saludos. We are so logical. We have to turn evil.
And all I'm going is, so you're the Geth.
Right.
You're the Geth.
All right. Viper, you might have been more keen to this. Did you get the Cybermen rip off there? Yeah, that was what I was thinking. Yeah. Is that holy shit? They're doing the Cybermen thing from fucking Doctor Who 5 years ago.
Delete.
Yeah. turning everybody.
Yeah, but I think the reason why we've got 3 races in this trilogy quad of films, we'll say, is two of the aliens, or the alien species that we've got, represent the extremes of both sides. Like, we've got the major logical ones, then we've got the major religious ones, and then we've got humans that are in between.
Yeah, let's smack that in. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like dealing with like what, Christian and atheists, and you got humans in between.
Yeah,
I guess, but also like, the being the Bill of Saludo or the logical side, right? And they automatically turn evil because it's logical. Like, that doesn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. That seems illogical.
Well, think about it, okay?
It wasn't so much.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Prostate. It wasn't so much illogical, but it was kind of not true to themselves in a way, because as soon as they found out that Mechagodzilla was still, in quotes, alive and still doing its job, they sort of revered it as a god. They were just like going, it's still doing what it was ordered to do. It's like, yeah guys, that ain't logical.
Well, see, and that's kind of like, I think they're gonna try to like do this, like theme of logic. It's almost like logic versus emotion, right? Where you've got the touchy-feely, but non-asexual, which that doesn't fit in with this thing at all, because they should be very emotional, they should be very sexual, in my opinion. But then again, this is Japanese, and they're very like repressed when it comes to their sexuality. I get that, right? But so the religious, you've got the religious softies representing, the right hemisphere, and then you've got the logicians, the Bill of Saludos, and representing the left hemisphere. And so, it's like, and there's like this whole sub theme about balance, and then of course there's the ecological thing underpinning what the whole thing, and see, and if y'all look at the picture that's on the screen right now, that looks like Godzilla taking a shit to me. Okay, I'm just saying.
I will say that the animation style does not help Godzilla in any way. I mean, no. I'm picky when it comes to 3D animation. Or 3D anime, I should say. I'm very picky. The only one that I will praise outright for being really good is Hoshi no Kuni, or The Land of the Lustrous, because that was made to be 3D. Everything else I've seen in 3D, and this includes like Berserk 2017.
I didn't like the Berserk.
Yeah, and Arjin, even though it's got a good story, the animation shit. What they always go for is 3D, but in that 2D anime style, and it just doesn't work.
I thought
really
it doesn't. It looks like shit. I am total agreement with you. I mean, Godzilla looks like a fatter version of Blastoids that is made out of poop. He really does. Yeah. Like he's clumped together.
Keep going.
I thought this one had better animation than a lot of the stuff I've watched on Netflix lately.
Yeah.
I thought the artwork here was better than a lot of the other things I've seen.
All right.
But you're right, this 3D thing is just gay and dumb, dude. I hate how they're doing it.
Well,
I mean, that's not to say that the Japanese are absolutely horrible at 3D, because then you look at their
Appleseed.
Appleseed, or the Resident Evil series.
Yep.
Yeah.
So all that stuff looks.
So they can do it.
Yeah.
Just this style is shit.
Did you see Gantz, GANTZ? 2.0.
Yeah, that was a good
I
movie.
thought that was, the story was shit, but the fucking, it looked gorgeous, man. I mean, I could watch that over and over again just for the visuals on it. That was really beautiful.
Is that a Netflix original?
I think it is.
I'll have to look for it.
Yeah,
hint, wink, wink, Irate.
Well, next time I'd like to look at, the Sword Guy season 2 is out. So I was thinking maybe next month anime time we'd do that. I don't know. I was thinking. We can talk about it. Shit.
Yeah, it's also
Yeah, hopefully they did a lot of improving on that one right there that we was talking about. They
well, don't
did all up.
don't tell us, man.
I don't
know. I
Spoil it.
about
Don't spoil it.
too.
Hey,
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just saying. I'm just hoping they haven't.
I'm messing
We
with
have
you, man.
Director Arcater in the chat. Bill Saludo, respect our decision to become metal things. Respect our decision to also to make you also metal things. How dare you betray us? That's absolutely right. That's
That's
beautiful.
exactly what happened.
And it isn't
That is-
convenient that Godzilla's first move upon getting up is to take a nap.
That's where the animation really let it down. Because I think it would have been better if we saw Godzilla moving.
I know.
You know-
He's like a goddamn statue, like a kid playing with the statue, moving it around, man.
Yep.
The way he moves,
Yeah.
it's just like, dude, do your legs move independently of each other, and do your arms move when you walk? No, man. He's like,
Hey, we don't know.
Yeah.
We
The guy
don't know,
in the
man.
costume in the 60s was better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like that big bug in fucking Starship Troopers, you know, that's got the little bugs underneath it carrying them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like you look at how they animated the vultures and how they were like literally flying around the sky, and you're going, okay, why can't you do this sort of thing for Godzilla?
I know, that looked good.
You know, this big lump of Godzilla-ness, and all he's doing is walking slowly towards the factory, and I'm going,
Yeah.
do something. You just do something, please, Godzilla. You know, I know
Yeah.
you're a huge beast, but please do something.
He can do right. He can do more than just shoot the electricity out of his mouth, man. I mean, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whoa. Sir, they have not explained any further than his dorsal fin made of electricity.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if he can do anything else, because, that dorsal fin, man, that's the goal here. We gotta get to that dorsal fin and stop him.
Oh, his some
Brian,
of, some
he
of,
has a tail.
Oh, yeah, that's
Take
right.
the freaking tail.
Yeah, but you got the tail whip as well.
I'm sorry, it was just unmemorable.
well, some of the best work that Godzilla's done in the past has been kicking shit down. I mean, that dude can kick some shit down. But then
Well,
again,
he does quad exercises, so yeah.
I grew up watching Godzilla at the drive-in, so that
Yeah, He did not skip leg day.
He did not.
Skipped
He
arm
did
day.
He did a lot of leg day.
he skipped all day.
But yeah, Godzilla's always had them tiny arms.
What,
I think
that
what
got
I'm really
a big
missing
head,
about
a little arms.
what
Sorry.
I'm really missing about the whole Godzilla thing is like, he ain't got that patented, hardly, all up in
That
here.
comes in at the
I'm
very
like-
end
I'm like,
when
where-
he's in pain.
I'm like, where's that at?
Yeah, because I mean, it sounded like a. It was like, what
Yeah,
the
I
fuck?
was just about to comment on that. Like, he's moving super slow, but the original scene when he comes in for the battle, like probably 40 minutes out from the end of the movie, right?
Right.
Uh-huh.
He opens his mouth and you hear tearing like he's breaking the sound barrier, but he's going ultra slow, and I'm like, oh, why? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
This is not how sound works.
And they.
That's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
No, then I'm saying it's like, it can't be Godzilla if he ain't got that Godzilla roar. I'm like, what is the rest of the stuff that they actually doing on here? And it's
Well,
like ever
that's
since you pointed out, Irate, Prostate, and like the first time we talked about this,
Yeah.
every time I see that design of Godzilla, it's like I don't see Godzilla, I see Dogzilla. I'm like, the anime on Godzilla, man, was just lazy right here because he just looks like a straight up dog on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I see when he uses his laser is Blastoids using Hyper Beam.
Yeah,
You know?
okay. I was like, what the fuck is this thing, dude? It's crazy. And why is Godzilla a villain? He's never been classically, he's the hero, isn't he?
The Earth
Classically-
chose him, though. It was the Earth that chose him as the leader.
Basically, what we've got here is also another environmental message planted within the film, and it's coming from the religious alien that's with Hero. The one that Hero, usually goes to for advice, and is saying, like, humans and everybody else, we created these monsters. The monsters were a response by the planet to basically say to the people that were inhabiting it, fuck off. You're killing me. So
it has like this whole war thing.
And so Godzilla got rid of the humans and got rid of the cities and the environment, and Mother Nature grew around Godzilla, essentially. The Earth recognized Godzilla as the champion, and so everything mutated.
Right, and that's what they say.
Set it back.
Yeah, that everything, all the life had some trace of Godzilla in it. So everything is evolved from the original body of the original Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, all life form, but except the insect people.
Except the insect people. Yeah, it's like, okay, so everything's mutated around Godzilla except the Mothra.
Which, what works my nerve about that tribe right there is, I wonder whose idea was it to put that loud, obnoxious piercing in their voice, like as they're talking, to anytime they show them right there. Like I told you, did you ever hear that high pitch, audio when they?
Yeah.
Oh, that was annoying.
That's their telepathy. That's supposed to signify the telepathy.
Yeah, but it makes your teeth hurt.
I'm saying that's exactly what it did to me too. I'm like, I heard that, and I'm like,
it hurt.
I turned it down to like, and I still could hear it. I mean, it just pierced through my damn skull. I'm like, and I pointed out to Irate Prostate. I'm like, all right. He said, I ain't watched it. I'm just waiting right now. When you hear it, you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna annoy the hell out of you.
You nailed it, dude.
Well, I'm saying, whose idea was to do that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
There were a whole bunch of things. What the hell was the twins put their arms together and they moved the beam kind of thing? What the hell was that?
You see, this is where I think it would have been better to say, like, Prostate, you're saying there's going to be 4 movies. Maybe they should add a 5th, because then this film should have been split into 2.
Or
we get one film about the tribe, one film about Mechagodzilla.
Or maybe they stop right now. Like,
well, see, but
they're not going to stop.
Yeah, but
I know.
All right. So, did anybody like go past the credits? And there's an end credit scene. Okay, everybody got that then. Thank God.
Yes.
Because that's very important. But they didn't do it on the first movie.
Actually, they did.
Oh shit! What? See, I missed it then. And the only reason that I caught it this time was because I read it in a review.
Yeah, the end credit scene on the first film was Hero being treated by one of the twins.
Oh,
him sort of waking up.
That's how I knew. Like I didn't know they were twins. I knew it was one of them, and it was gonna be like these like this crew, like some people, some humans that didn't go into space, like they had actually survived and they done descended and all this right through.
Yeah.
So it was like Mina, and now you find out they twins.
So that's why he woke up in that hut, Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, all right. All right. So at the end of this one, there's at one point the Bella Saludo guy, who's obviously our girl or whatever, that's like in love with what's his name, Kaoru?
Yaharo.
Yeah, Yaharo. Yeah, Haro. Says that there's something even greater and more deadlier, a bigger, greater evil, and we never speak its name because the words have power, and to imply that the words have the power to attract the being there, right? So he whispers in his ear, and we never hear what it is.
No, we do hear what it is.
At the but we hear it at the end, right after, in the end credit, right when he says. Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an
Ghidorah.
active that did that.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Ghidorah is the three-headed
No, the three-headed dragon.
winged dragon. Yeah, man.
Yes, when I heard that right there, I'm like, oh man, they gonna bring King Ghidorah up in the smoke.
Yeah. See, now the shit's gonna get good, man. And you gotta
Oh,
bring.
man.
You know what this means? We gotta have Gamera. All right, because Ghidorah.
Gamera's gonna be there.
Yeah, because Gamera and Godzilla have to team up to kick Ghidorah's ass. And that's the only way that shit works. If no Gamera, I'm out. I am OUT. You got to bring me Gamera, man. He's my because Gamera is my thing, man. I love Gamera. When I was a kid, I loved it. The flying turtle with the fire shooting out of it, man, and spinning around and shit. And I'm like, yes, the turtle will get, you know. And I found out his name was Gamera, you know, later. And I was like, yes, I love that thing. Anyway, I'll shut up about it now.
Well, it's a whole new spin on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, so can we talk about the metal alloy that is the nanobots and
Mechagodzilla.
Mechagodzilla, right? That creates its own city and runs as an AI on its own with its own power source, and yet waits for people to show up to do anything?
I don't think that it was actually waiting for people. It was more of it knew it was damaged, so it had to. It knew what it had to do in terms of, you know, get rid of Godzilla, but it was too heavily damaged. So I think that the reason why it took on a factory-like form, I was there going, why a factory and not just another Mechagodzilla? And you know, you basically built all this. Why not just another Mechagodzilla, or heck, a vast space, just this huge cube,
Right?
sort
It's
of
had
thing.
20,000 years to do this.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it knew that it had to stockpile resources from the area surrounding it, because it was that heavily damaged from the previous battle with Godzilla. And it was running on very rudimentary orders. So basically, survive, and that's about it.
But even with that, like, when they got there, all of a sudden the nanometal was able to just randomly build whatever they needed. You know, it was like
that's because you know, they were giving it orders to do that. You know, they were integrating the information that they had from the ship into Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, but
So-
I don't buy it because it made its own factory.
Now, just
Like,
remember, okay, y'all. Now, Brian and I are like, we're not weebs, man. We're not big anime watching people. So this is, you know, you got to understand where Brian's coming from on this thing. This is like, he's used to movies, right, and stuff that makes sense. Whereas in Japanese narrative, there's a lot of shit they just say, just accept it and go on. Don't question it. You know?
Well, I mean, look, I'm all for the suspension of disbelief, but you know,
No,
there's a
even
lot.
I was going, why?
Yeah.
There's
What the
a
fuck?
lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's there's just so much.
Well,
Yeah.
the weird thing was they made the Salube or whatever, the Tony Shalhoubs, into they acted like they were Klingons more at first than anything else, right? And then all of a sudden they're like super logical beings that only do things in the most quote unquote logical way possible, even though self-preservation isn't part of their logical reasoning.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was really weird. I didn't understand the switch in plot without any explanation. They didn't really get into that.
I
We're
didn't really.
evil now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's how it was.
yeah.
Really, it's like they went from being super logical, then all of a sudden just being like super evil, like right then and there. Like they made Sakaki even look sane, and he started out like, you know, it was all about him wanting to get revenge for, you know, on Godzilla for, you know, like for like killing his family and for sending them out there to Earth, and he wished they would have stayed and would have fought. Now, you know, he sounded more logical than they was, because now you got Mechagodzilla City and all this right here, and they're doing all this shit in the Bill of Saludo just fucking flip mode like that.
Yeah. I mean, remember how I said that they were kind of worshipping Mechagodzilla like a god? I think they got drunk on their own sort of quote-unquote success, that their creation had survived this long and was still doing the job that they had commanded it to do. They were getting drunk off it.
They kept talking about, in order to be that great, they had to become the monster. That was their goal. It wasn't to become greater than the monster and be something more. It was to become what had defeated them. And that's completely illogical to me, too.
Yeah, but think about it. No, I like what Viper's saying, because that kind of makes sense. Is that these logical beings, for the first time ever, they're starting to feel pride, right? And they're taking it to a point of where it's corrupting them, right?
Yeah.
That and hear me out on this one. Mechagodzilla is full of logic.
Logic.
They
were like, we have to become just like him because he's full of logic.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely the case of the bad guy in this was not necessarily Godzilla. The bad guy was Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
Because of the tone surrounding Mechagodzilla. It was, it was dark. I mean, this film was incredibly dark, and I'm not meaning the feel of it. The color of it was incredibly dark.
It was visually.
And I was there going, do I need to freaking brighten up my laptop so I can see what's going on?
Yeah.
And Godzilla wasn't moving either. I mean, it's like it was just, like a fucking, like I said, a statue the whole movie. So, it was nothing about Godzilla because he was too busy, moving.
Taking a nap.
Exactly. Taking a nap at first, right? And then waking up. I guess he's like me. In the morning, he's slow as fuck when he gets up, man. He's got to have a couple of cups of coffee or something,
The only bright thing that actually happened in this film was when Godzilla activated a new power of superheat regeneration. He heated himself up to over 1,000 Fahrenheit or whatever, to the point where he's burning everything around him, and he's magically healed.
Yeah, because they use the same tactic that they use on Baby Godzilla, and it was actually working. But it's when they hit him with the probes and all that right there after the shield went down, and which really should have took him out. Instead, he flame on and shit. He done turned into Godzilla Johnny Storm and shit. They're trying to still going with the same thing, but now they can't get towards him. So I'm like, all right, this done flip right here.
I mean, even when they say that what Baby Godzilla was, when they said that it was a subspecies of Godzilla, what they actually fought, and I'm going, that is fucking a baby Godzilla.
It's Godzilla, guys. You're not lying to us.
That's a freaking baby Godzilla. Mama's not happy that you've killed her baby.
Yeah, it hadn't reached its full potential yet. Nah.
But it's if that method worked on baby, why didn't it work on Mama? Well, they've got 2 more movies to try and do this. So.
Yeah, because Mama is more improved.
Viper, did it seem like there was more than one different artist doing this? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at these slides, and the more I see it, the more I'm seeing 3 distinct different styles. And was that done intentionally, A, or B? Do you think they farmed it out to other artists, the way that the Moth people?
It wouldn't be surprising if it was farmed out to other animators, because there are animators that specialize in different areas.
Right.
You've got some animators that are more specialized in doing robots. You've got some animators that are specialized in doing keyframing, which is all the movement in between. And then you've got animators that are good for certain still shots. So it wouldn't be surprising if there are different styles.
Right.
There is a different style when you're looking at, say, the Vulture's Godzilla and Mechagodzilla compared to the humans.
Yeah, the mech designs are definitely like separate. I can tell there's a different brain working in the design, especially with the vultures and even the walking things, the bipedal mechs.
And even the creatures that we didn't see, that we saw a lot of in the first film, but didn't see a lot of in this film.
The flying ones,
the flying ones. They're definitely they were probably done by another animator or another artist. So it's not surprising,
right? Or the ones that were in the Castlevania, those flying things in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. The design looked a little bit similar, but the execution would look totally different to me too, though. The artwork, the difference between those two. I mean, the artwork is just that tells you everything. I mean, that Castlevania. When I compare those 4 episodes to this, there's no comparison.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah, except for the mechs, and that's the only thing that I really think is really, really killer. Well thought out designs.
Well, I think for this type of 3D animation that they're going for, again, they're trying to get that anime style, that 2D anime style into 3D, and it just doesn't work. But when you're using the 3D style that they've got and apply it to mechs, like the Vultures, or even a series like Full Metal Panic, and you're looking at the giant robots in that, it looks really good. It flows effortlessly. But it just doesn't work for like the human characters or the alien characters. It just doesn't work, and it's really off-putting.
Right.
Yeah, the blockiness of the choppiness rather of this movie was not. It was hard to make it watch smoothly, and it kept throwing me off and made it kind of hard to concentrate on what they were saying, because there was a lot of choppiness in the animation, which isn't something I haven't really noticed since like Macross and Robotech,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some of the 80s stuff. And I was going to bring that up, is that, the first Japanese stuff that, animation that I was ever exposed to was like Speed Racer, okay? And, in a lot of that, you would see just a still head with the mouth moving,
Yeah.
And it would be a still head for about a minute and a half, and the mouth just doing all the thing, and it was all like, it was all dialogue.
We have to stop Racer X.
Right. Well, what are we going to do with that? How about Chim Chim? Remember Chim Chim?
You've been hiding in the trunk the entire time?
Right over
Oh boy, this is going to be a bad race.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, what hentai were you watching?
Oh. It's like, golly, just bust a nut and get out of there, man. For God's sakes. Oh.
It's not as bad as, say like some of the Dragon Ball episodes.
Man, you know what? I have an idea. It's kind of like bad lip reading, but just taking those grunts and groans out of anime and putting them with porno, but like blacking out, you know what I'm saying? Just to see what that. I think that would work. I think it would be funny as shit. Anyway, just a thought.
The best Dragon Ball episode I ever saw was the one by Oni Cartoons on YouTube.
What was that?
It's a parody. It's they make fun of Dragon Ball Z. It's hilarious. I suggest that everyone go see that.
It's good thing Sinatra isn't here. He'd be having our heads on a pike. Back to Godzilla-less Godzilla.
Senseless Godzilla? Plotless Godzilla?
Superheated Godzilla.
Yeah. Like, I get the whole, they gotta create a weakness in Godzilla, but and it was kind of a cool way to do it with EMP and all that stuff. but I was really confused as to what the hell the nanometal was doing at the end and why Godzilla was superheating and everything. They didn't really explain what was going on there. It was really, really weird. And I still want to know what was going on there. I wish they had explained that better.
Yeah, all they were doing was going, oh my god, it's so hot! Why is Godzilla heating up like this? Why isn't it exploding? We would like to know too.
Well, and maybe like his flesh was reacting to the nanometal the way the flesh of the people that had been touched by the insect or had the insect dust on them was reacting. And it was the repulsion of the metal was like the reason it was heating up like that.
I don't think it was.
See, it doesn't make right. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah,
Because they were talking about the nanometal absorbing him too, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not so much absorbing. It was more of encase Godzilla's feet in hardened nanometal.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. I was like, did anyone else think that maybe trying to give Godzilla cement boots was a really dumb idea? Like, the part that hurts people is the mouth.
It works for the
part
mob.
that hurts people is the freaking tail.
Well, and the tail. And the tail. Sorry, I keep forgetting about the tail.
The tail that they completely forgot to hold in place with the feet?
Yeah.
How the hell does that work considering his tail drugged the ground for the rest of the shows? Whatever. Yeah. This was, anime expects you, because it's cartoons, so you're expected to have that suspension of belief kind of aspect to it. I mean, Evangelicist, anybody? Or Evangelon, anybody?
Yeah.
But this one, it went too far to the point where you were like, wait, how did we get there? What happened to this? And even for that anime suspension of belief, I was still going, how did we get here? What was lost in translation? Wait a minute, that looks like they're speaking English when the voice acting is happening. What? Wait a minute, so there's no loss of translation here? What the fuck is going on? I was very disappointed. The first one was more entertaining than the second one to me.
Yeah, this one...
Go ahead.
This one was definitely information dump the movie, but you don't get informed about anything.
Right. And that's why I was saying it was more like connective tissue. Like this is the, because usually in a quadrilogy, especially in comics, the second issue is the one that like kind of ties everything together. So at the end of the fourth issue, everything kind of ties up together because they'll relate back to shit in the second book. And that's just kind of, I guess, there's some kind of formula there that they're still following. Because I mean, this really, doesn't work on its own. I mean, if you see, and that's the whole point of a triptych or a diptych or a trilogy is that each one separately works on its own. Right, it can work. You can watch the movie and be completely satisfied that you've watched a good movie. And when I watch this, I'm like, okay, this is obviously a piece to something bigger. And
but also, I mean, by not having it be have the full plot line or the story arc, if you will, it's essentially lazy writing.
Maybe.
No, it is. Yeah. It really is, because it's not a story. It's just all these pieces. Here you go.
Right. Put them together yourself.
Throw all these pieces at you.
Right.
Here's why I got basic at that ending. Like when they basically like did everything that they did towards like the first Godzilla, and they had shot him with like the EME things and all that right there, and when he went like heat mode, it's like. It's kind of like they still had a chance to kind of like beat him because the shield was down and all that right there, but they couldn't get to him because it was too damn hot for him. So that's when like the other one the Bill of Saludo was talking about there's still a chance to like beat him, but in order to do that we got to fuse with Mecha Godzilla, and that's when like the aloe was like growing all over them and all that right there, and they realized, well, damn, that would be suicide. And that's when Sakaki started kind of like flipping out, because it started attacking the girl, and he was more worried about her than it got to attacking him, and he's like, what the, but it wasn't reacting to him like how it was doing with the rest of them, and so it's like after all that was happening, you know, and him and old boy was sitting right there arguing, he's just like, you know, like accept it, you know, like let, you know, like become one with this right here, and we can kill Godzilla. But he's like, oh hell no. So he went, he grabs old girl, you know, like while the other one is like, you know, like, how you betray us and all that shit. And that's how Godzilla basically got free. Because it's like they still had a chance to kind of destroy Godzilla, but then it would have been like a suicide thing, you know, like, all right, all y'all just absorb him with this alloy, then y'all go in for the kill, and yeah, you would have destroyed Godzilla, but all of them would have been dead.
Right.
And then what would your plot been right then?
Well, obviously,
I kind of needed Yuko to die at that moment, honestly. Or you know, but the thing is, it would have made more sense if she accepted the way that the logical aliens did. You know, if she said, right, if this is the only way to get rid of Godzilla, I'm going to accept it.
Well, do you think that maybe at some point that she may like turn into some kind of like Mecha Rodan or something like that? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so. I don't think she's going to come back because one, she was a human being and she was being invaded by a metal alloy at the end of the day, so that would have killed her anyway. But also the power source itself was Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla kind of torched that place. Right. So
right. Well, let me ask you this: was anybody else like totally not impressed by how they made it look like the nanometal was taking over the beings, you know, like the Bilisoluto and the humans? That weird kind of, it was gray, this bad, it just that looked like shit. I mean, that looked like, you know, like little worms underneath their skin or something, but it didn't, you know? I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
it didn't work. It didn't work.
I mean, if you're going to compare it to the original beginning of the movie, right, where they have the nanotech that's flowing like liquid and then creates a lettering or whatever it was, to the end of the movie where they have the nanotech going over the Bilisolutos, and it's like, guys, you spent a lot on the production in the beginning, and then you just decided nobody will notice. Right. Like, okay. Why? Why did you do this?
We'll fudge this. They won't know.
Yeah, it'll be good. Don't worry.
It didn't make any sense to put the humans into the nanometal because they aren't compatible like the Tony Shalhoubs.
Well, no, I mean, I think the compatibility was that they probably were compatible, but those that were treated by the insect people, by the Mothra people, they weren't compatible because Mothra, you know, the dust on them was repelling the nanometal.
And why the fuck Mothra? Why is Mothra the fucking hero? What the hell? This is so confusing.
I mean, it took me ages to figure out that it was Mothra. I'm just there going, can you make sense, people? Stop talking about the egg and just talk straight.
If you'll look at the little girl's like head, right at the you know, in the front,
the hair, it looks like
you'll see the little feather, right? The feather, exactly. The antennas. I caught that like the third time I saw it. I said, okay, the moth. Okay, I get it. It's leading up to Mothra, so that became obvious then.
How disappointed do you think dying humanity was when they realized those are just bugs? They're like, yay, some of us survived. This is so oh, they're bugs. Never mind.
No, probably. In a way, it's like, how did they get the humanoid figure? And then all that popped into my mind was humans fucked bugs.
Right? I was like, how the fuck did
the Japanese did it again.
Oh man.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was the only way I could think of it. You know, this hybrid of humans. I mean, would it make sense for there to be humans on that planet if there was literally no descendant or no humans for them to think this is the form we're going to take, or this is the path we're going to go down for evolution.
Right. Well,
Because you would have thought it would have been more moths, mini Mothras.
yeah.
But instead, they're humans. Sure, they may all look similar to each other, but they're humans. So all I could think about was the Japanese have done it again, and they've made humans fuck bugs.
I mean, how did they get there though? I mean, it's like, I don't know.
Well, Tema, I think it takes
Evolution.
less. I think it takes less suspension of disbelief thanks to the advent of the internet to believe that people fucked bugs over the Godzilla movie being good.
It is like what? It is like 20,000 years later. So it's like I don't know, some kind of wicked evolution could have happened.
Wicked evolution, yes. Your bugs became people.
Yeah, bugs became people.
Director Archer has another good point. Considering everything on the planet had absorbed Godzilla-ness for no real sound reason, Mothra's cult might as well have absorbed Mothra-ness.
Yeah.
That's quite possible. I think that's probably why they have the dust on them. Mothra's dust.
Dust.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Maybe the dust changed them or something. I don't know, but it's fucking weird. Really disappointing. The first one was far better. I thought the second one was going to be more entertaining. I kept hearing really good things about it. I can't say it's any worse than the Godzilla 2000 movie, but Fat Iguana attacking New York City, that made total fucking sense.
Hey, you know what? At least
I still watch that because it's funny.
Yeah, at least one good thing came out of Fat Iguana Godzilla. We got Reese's Pieces.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That was promoted on the Godzilla movie.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
Uh-huh.
Well,
So, I mean, it's already beating this episode.
Brian brings it back to food. I love it.
Well, it also gave us a line that's a lot of fish.
Holy, no doubt,
That's
man.
true.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
that.
Well, we're coming down to like the last couple of minutes for the hours. Does anybody? We usually use this time, like to let everybody, if you got anything you want to talk about that you got coming up, any shows or anything you want to promote. Viper Sword, ladies first.
Well, if it's ladies first, why not a Tema?
Well,
That's adorable.
Hey!
I'm only half abroad, remember?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just thinking that it's midnight where you're at, and you're really put yourself out to do this, and I appreciate you for it. So, is there anything?
I am working on a video. I'm just I'm kind of putting it off at the moment to do commissions that I've got. But yeah, I am working on a video, and it's responding to everybody's favorite person, Riley Dennis.
Riley Dennis response video. Oh, wow.
What is it done now?
All right.
It's an old video. It's basically we have gay people in our films, but they're not gay enough.
Oh, wow.
Fuck off, Riley.
I got you. All right, Tema, do you have anything you want to promote?
Well, starting Monday on a wonderful woman named Suasea's channel, we're me and Cyberpunk at Degeneration Nation are going to be doing a 3-man show where we talk about God knows what and spurg out who knows how much. 7 p.m. I want to say that's Eastern. I'm sure I have that right. 7 p.m. Eastern time, Monday on Suasea's channel. Come check us out, being idiots. And we have a server for the Lazy Misfits show, which is what we're calling it. If you guys want to come hang out with us in a drama-free zone, that's what we got. let me know, and I'll shoot you an invite. You can find me on Twitter or Discord. And
Don't call it a drama-free zone. That's a bad idea.
well, okay, it's an attempted drama-free zone. God damn. I think I've already fucked it up, but we'll see. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Good deal. Pat, you got anything you want to chill out?
Well, actually, I got a lot of things going on. Like I said, for starters, is I'm kind of like gonna be like like on and off with my Yo Boy Pat channel, like because the social issues are kind of like getting to me mentally. So I really want to kind of scoot away from those and try some other things and all that right there. So I'm coming up with other channels. Like right now, my It's Just Me channel, that I had to change that up because me and another person who had another channel, named the same way, kind of got into it, and they cried to YouTube. So I'm changing all my stuff up. Now it's gonna be like me and my daughter and other people, like my friends. And now I'm calling it like the one and only. So it's gonna be like me and my daughter, like basically like going around doing like different things, trying different foods and all that right there. Plus, I have another channel that I'm making off, called like Still the One, where that's gonna be like more mature right there, where I'm gonna be talking about just a lot of wild things that just be on the top of my mind and things like that, which is kind of going to be like for mature audiences only and all this shit. So kids, that channel is not going to be meant for you, but that's all in the works, and hopefully it'll be up soon. I'm gonna be posting it all over Twitter when it's ready to go.
Killer. And well, Big Fat Brian and I, next week we are going to be going over an original. See, next week is the original series or original movie, Netflix original week, and we're going to be going over a documentary series called what, Brian? Rotten. We haven't really gone into the solid doc series. Most of the docs we've done have been the true crime stuff. And we've got a true crime thing that we'll be working on for next week. But so Rotten covers the food industry?
It covers the food industry, yeah.
Yeah.
And Are you
trying to turn me vegan? Goddamn it!
No. No.
All right.
I mean, it's pretty interesting. I watched one episode from it. I think that the audience is really gonna like it. The only thing is, I was wondering, did you want to split this into two, because it's a bit long.
How long is it?
I think each episode is like an hour.
How many episodes?
10.
Jeez.
Yeah. So what if we
You might want to split it into two or three.
What if we did the first half next week, and then the next month the second half?
Okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, dude. Thanks. That works perfect. So yeah, we'll do the first 5 episodes next week, and then at that point in time, we're going to talk about what to do about the true crime stuff. But there's a new series that just came out that
I saw.
Interviews serial killers and murderers and stuff that are on death row. And so, and it's interesting because it looks like some of them are like really repentant. Some of them they say I didn't do it. And then some are like, fuck yeah, if you let me out, I'm going to do it again. God damn it. So, it goes to the whole gamut of people in the, on death row or people that are, in for life for murder. So, and on that note, this is Irate Prostate. On behalf of everybody here, we want to thank you for showing up and sitting through this thing. Everybody, let's say thank you and bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Hit the like button. Yeah, bye.
All right, everybody, take care. This is Irate Prostate out.